Happy Monday, y'all. Stowing away here for a minute. I know people are popping in, and I'm going to do a really quick live before my next appointment and while my little one is still in class. I wanted to talk today about why the conscious use of language is so important. Why the conscious use of language is so important, and specifically why it's important as a parent. So if you are a parent today, you need to be listening on this one because, I was thinking about this weekend how much I use NLP in my parenting. And I've been a trainer for several years now, and I've been a master practitioner for, 4 years now, and a practitioner level since 2013. So I've been doing this work for about 7 years now. And one of the things, and when I first trained in NLP, actually, it was before I had my son. My son is 6 years old. So, one of the things that I didn't realize is how much the principles and the methodology and the processes of NLP apply to language as a parent. And just since we've had to be doing a lot of our school at home, I've been virtually schooling my son since March, and many of you all who are parents know what I'm talking about and have been doing the same. I have had to, and my son is a very intelligent 6-year-old. He's a very conversational 6-year-old, and he knows how to negotiate his way in and out of, as most 6-year-olds. Those of you who have 6-year-olds, if you have a 6-year-old, pop in the chat box and let me know, because 6-year-old is a very fun age. But I have really learned a lot about how the conscious use of language is important in parenting. And one of the biggest reasons why NLP is so effective in parenting, and why the conscious use of language that you're taught in NLP is so important, is because we are the human model for our kids. We are who they're going to look at and say, this is the right way to act. This is the right way to speak. And not only when we're speaking to them, but when we are speaking to our partners, when we are out in the world and we're speaking to other business people, when we're at restaurants, when we're at the store, they're always watching us. They're always watching, and they're always listening us. And for those of you who don't know, children under the age of 10 are sponges. Like, that is a critical time of development for kids. So if there's any time when you want to be teaching them a particular type of modeling, it's definitely going to be before the age of 10. So I've just been thinking about all the ways that I have used my skills of NLP and hypnosis, even in parenting, like hypnotic language patterns. And one of the ways that one of the things that I do is anchoring. Now, if you watched previous lives or previous IGTV episodes, you saw right before Thanksgiving, and if you haven't, you can go back and watch it. Right before Thanksgiving, I did an anchoring exercise, and it's applicable in so many areas of life. For example, my son did his testing back sometime in middle of October, and he shared with me that he was a little bit nervous. And so we did a little anchoring exercise to boost his confidence, to boost his focus and concentration. And I think I actually recorded that. I did a video and recorded it. And so I might post that a little bit later on this month to show what that looks like. But I was able to do that in a moment's notice the day before his testing. And the day of his testing, he was focused, he felt calm, he felt relaxed, and he did very well. And now he has a whole new context of what testing is. He's not afraid of testing, right? So that's just one way. Another way is just in the way that I talk with him. For example, today at lunch, when he's bopping around, because he's just full of energy. He's like an all boy, right? Today at lunch, he's sitting down and he's bouncing around, and I asked him, what would my Delson, that's his name, what would my Delson that is earning all 3 stars on his star chart, how would he be sitting at the table? Right? And it's just a future pacing technique. That's all it is, a future pacing technique that allows him to think about what it looks like to earn 3 stars in a particular category. We have our categories, right? And immediately he shifted his behavior. I didn't have to say stop. I didn't have to say sit down. I didn't have to do any of that, right? But I had the presence of mind in that moment. Now, I'm not a perfect parent by any means, but I had the presence of mind in that moment to ask that simple question, to have him think critically about what it means to earn 3 stars in this household. How then he would be behaving if he were behaving as a 3-star earner in this household at the table, at the lunch table. And boom, there it was. So these are just a couple of ways that I practice conscious use of language, and some of them I record, some of them I don't. He actually really loves that I empower other people in this way, and so sometimes he lets me put some of this on camera. So stay tuned this Friday. You'll see one of the techniques that we use together. It's fun. It allows me to be creative in my parenting. It allows me to, it actually challenges me. Because again, we think that we're the only ones teaching our children. But when you learn NLP, when you learn this technology, when you really open your mind to what this is, you really get that we are always learning. And it takes being open to being creative and learning new things in order to be able to utilize the conscious, this language, this NLP, this neurolinguistic technology consciously in every area of life. It's just like yoga. And you guys know I practice yoga, which is why I've got this workout t-shirt on. It's just like in yoga, people think that yoga is a practice that you do on the mat, but really yoga is a practice that you do in life. And when you look at the practices that you have in life, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer, whether it's, going to your virtual service once a week or 2 times a week now that it's virtual, these principles that you learn, spiritual principle, linguistic principle, exercise or yogic principle, meditation principle, these principles, we have to remember that these are not isolated to when we're doing them. These are meant to be used in every area of life. And so that's why I am always talking about NLP, because that's my jam. That's what I love, but also because it's so transformational in my life. It has been in the people I teach. And so whatever it is, whether it's career, whether it's your business, whether it's sales, whether it's you want to rise in leadership, whether it's speaking, whether it's parenting, whether it's relationship, personal relationship, where it is just accessing your deeper self, so that you connect to your unconscious mind, or giving you even more clear access to your deeper self so that you can connect to your higher consciousness, or that spiritual self. That is all part of what this technology and methodology is all about, connecting you to that source. And today I just happen to want to talk about parenting because it's just so present in my life. So if you want to know more, if you're thinking this is interesting, I want to know a little bit more about this NLP, then the link in my bio, you can click that link and it'll take you to our upcoming training, and you can learn a little bit more about what you specifically learn in a training like this, and then you can fill out a form. Sorry about that. You can fill out a form, and I will reach out to you so to get you to share with you, to get what it is that's important to you, how this might impact you, and to make sure that you learn as much as you need to learn to be able to confidently enter the training when you're ready. Okay, so link in the bio, that'll give it to you. And then, yes, I definitely look forward to speaking with you guys. Type in the chat box if this makes sense. Type in the chat box if you have any questions. And I'm going to download this to IGTV so you can see it. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next live. Peace.